I talked about Joe Biden and the WhiteHouse.gov. We provided the sources. We always do louder with Crowder.com.
Yeah.
His proposal for effectively the gun registration, the gun ban.
Yeah.
But he just spoke yesterday again on his intent to sort of curb gun violence, specifically in these major cities. Of course, this tantamounts to more gun control, to more federalized authority. But you knew that. So I don't want to get into the registration, the buyback, because we have already done that. You can just search that on louderwithcrowder.com. Don't try and search it on YouTube because you will find nothing.
Surprise.
But he just made a claim yesterday that the left has been making for a very long time.
Okay.
And it's verifiably incorrect about this is the common blame game, right? Well, if you look in these big cities, they're actually getting guns from elsewhere. It's not the big city's fault. But he made a very specific claim because he said the quiet part out loud. They probably said, don't say...
And he just remembered.
Don't say that people are pointing out that gun
handlers.
crime is a problem in major liberal cities because that's a deadlock. So don't say that. And then he said that. Here you go.
We discussed disrupting illegal gun trafficking. Now the gun lobby wants you to believe that cities that are had the toughest gun laws still have the highest rates of gun violence.
Correct.
As was pointed out by the group we had today in our roundtable. The violence is, so they argue, why do you need those gun laws if they don't work in cities that have tough laws? Don't believe it. Here's the truth. Today's conversation with Mayor Scott of Baltimore, for example, echoed what we know to be the case and hear from mayors all across the country. Mayors have the power to help shape and enforce the laws in their cities, but they can't control the laws in neighboring cities and states, even though the gun legally bought there often ends up in their streets. Mayor Scott says that 80% of the guns in Baltimore were acquired outside the city. Outside the city.
Is that a fact, Mayor?
There's little he can do about that.
By the way,
So we have to act.
I love how he says a lot of people say, and they use these verifiable stats and statistics, but the mayor told me no.
So I went with it.
It's not our fault.
Piece of shit. I'm sorry. I'm so tired of this guy. I'm so tired of someone there is no
It's only
standard
been
to the
6
left.
months.
If that were Donald Trump, and we're going to get to California, we don't need to dump that. That's okay. I believe that the former vice president is a piece of shit. Okay, this is a lie. He just takes stats, right, facts, and then says the mayor said no. If it were Donald Trump, they would say, "Where are you getting that, sir? Where are you getting that?"
Yeah.
They
Please
would
give us
never.
the source.
They did the same thing. We'll get to it in a little bit in California with wildfires and not clearing the brush.
Oh, of course.
He was right. We now know it's right. How? Because we have receipts for $500 million that say he was right. And I can tell a man who is completely lost. He's lost the plot.
Well, he doesn't have anybody around him that says, hey, you need to look into this claim before you repeat it.
No, I mean, he doesn't have anyone around him saying you need to crawl into a hole.
And take
You
a
should
nap.
not be in
Animals
public.
go off to die alone.
What are we doing?
But this is just a recycled claim that you heard from Barack Obama. He tried to make this claim because everyone pointed to his hometown of Chicago. And this is, it's actually not Chicago's fault. It's Indiana. Here you go.
They go to a gun show in Indiana, where right now they don't have to do a background check.
Incorrect.
Load up a van and open up that van and sell them to kids and gangs in Chicago.
He thinks that people are buying firearms at a gun show the way he bought crack with Bill Ayers. For people who don't know, I know, just so you know, Barack Hussein Obama did crack with Bill Ayers, convicted domestic terrorist.
Oh, wow.
He wrote about it. It's not a secret. It's not a conspiracy.
Yeah, that's in the book.
So he's saying Chicagoans go to these horrible crime-riddled areas where there are
Supposedly.
plenty of guns.
Yes.
And bring the guns back.
That's exactly.
There's no crime in these places where the guns
No,
are
there
coming
are no
from.
crime there's very little crime in the places that he's referring to. As a matter of fact, I went to the specific location, which I can't do anymore now because I get recognized. There's no undercover.
Yeah. Can't move.
I don't have Jim Henson on the payroll, but he was specifically addressing a place, Crown Point, Indiana, where they have a big gun show.
Yeah.
I went to it specifically to see, just so you know, if I could purchase without a background check. I give this to you?
No, this all gets sent to the ATF.
I can't do. I mean, to get that home today.
There's no way to do that.
Well, I was told that I could go to a gun show and there would be no background check. So there would need to be a background check? That's a problem. I was told by the president that I could go here.
Believe him?
That's a felony and 20 years, and I'm not going to mess with it. No.
No.
You tried?
And you know what the truth is? I actually really wanted to get that magazine-fed shotgun.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I couldn't. So really, the victim in all this is me.
Yeah.
How does he get away with saying something like that? Like, you can just go over the border in Indiana and buy guns without a background check, and nobody goes,
You can go, and here's what happens. People say, hey, and this happened afterward. Hey, you want to get a gun without a background check? And it's a criminal who then tries to sell it to you in an alleyway. Like that can't happen in the bastion of safety that is Chicago.
That's the whole point, right? He's saying that there's this gun show loophole that we've talked about before. No, it's people committing a crime who don't follow the laws that you write now. So what do you think? Why do you think they're going to follow ones you write later?
There's no gun show loophole. There's no evidence that the problem in places like Chicago, Baltimore, that this is coming from states like Texas and Oklahoma, or neighboring states, Indiana. There's just no evidence.
Who's Detroit going to claim? Canada?
You know what? Detroit and Toledo, they kind of volley back and forth, and they just blame each other. But look, I'm a Michigander. That one's on us.
Watch Louder with Crowder live, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.